turn, 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 turn. Hey, what's up guys? Damian here. Welcome to Chat With VDF. In this video, I'm going to share with you, I don't know how to pose with this thing. I'm going to share with you, wow, I must be out of shape. I'm going to share with you about lions, pregnant women, and the fastest way to change the number of opportunities you see in real estate and start making more money in real estate deals. This is our baby stroller that I was just testing out, getting ready here, testing this thing out. So, you're saying, Damian, lions, pregnant women in real estate, how the heck is this all going to fit together? Well, Chat With VDF, you got to hang out and I'll explain exactly how. So, check this out. Here goes. Read this book, awesome book. It's called In a Pit with a Lion on a Snowy Day. I highly recommend you check it out. It actually is based on the Bible, which is really, really cool because you know I love the Bible. And let me tell you what it's about and exactly what it has to do with pregnant women and real estate. So, in the Bible, I think it's the book of Samuel or Kings, there's a gentleman and his name is Benaniah. And there's not a whole lot that's spoken about in the Bible about him other than the fact that he went into a pit with a lion on a snowy day and killed a lion. And that's sort of all that's known about this individual, Benaniah. And the whole book is based around this account and talks about the principles. You see, because what it talks about is that for somebody to go in a pit with a lion on a snowy day, most people would see a lion and they'd run away, right? Oh my goodness, it's a lion. They'd run away. And, you know, most people, if they saw, you know, a lion in a pit on a snowy day, they'd be like, man, I'm definitely not going near that pit. I'm going to run far away from that pit. I'm not going to go anywhere near it. But this guy, Benaniah, he saw a lion in a pit on a snowy day, and he actually jumped in and killed this lion. And because of it, he's later then elevated to this prestigious position as King David's, you know, primary #1 bodyguard because of this feat of courage and this feat of bravery. Well, what was different in his mindset? What does it have to do with pregnant women? What does it have to do with real estate investing? What does it have to do with chatting with VDF? Well, check this out. You see, his mindset was this. He always saw, you know, most people see threats and they run the other way. Most people see problems and they get stressed out and they run the other way. But Benaniah, when he saw threats, he saw opportunities to go forward and to be bold for God. And that's what he did. He saw that and he ran forward. That's why when he saw this lion in a pit, he said, man, he said, this lion could eventually get out. It could kill the people in the village. It could cause harm. It could do these things. You know what? This is an opportunity to do something. This is an opportunity to do something good. So he dove into this pit. But why was he able to do it? Well, the reason it started, the primary reason was because when he saw that, unlike everybody else who ran away, he saw an opportunity. And this is a radical shift in thinking. Let me explain straight out. I hate positive thought books. I can't stand that stuff. Mental self-help. I think it's all, honestly, I think it's shenanigans. Okay? However, there's something very true about psychologically how we view different things. And let me explain where the pregnant women come in and where this principle comes in and where real estate investing comes in. Okay, so there's this principle it talks about in the book. Again, the book's called In a Pit with a Lion on a Snowy Day. And it's this principle called reticular recognition. Reticular recognition. And it's a psychological principle. That's why I said it's not make-believe, positive feeling, mumbo-jumbo. This is psychology here. And what the principle says is that you will start to notice things once you're introduced to them. Once you start looking for them and you set your mindset and your eye set on that, you will start seeing things more and more. So for example, as you know, I'm getting ready to have my first baby. When I was going to college, when I had my first job, I never noticed pregnant women. I never even think I saw a pregnant woman for like 10 years. Were they there? Sure, all the time. But I never noticed them. But once my wife became pregnant, I see pregnant women all the time. I notice them from like 100 yards away. Why? Because that's where my mindset is. I'm excited about having a baby. I'm thinking about my wife, so I'm noticing it all the time. Same thing like strollers. I never noticed anything with strollers. I thought there was one kind of stroller. But once we started looking at different strollers, now I notice strollers all the time. I'm like, oh, that guy, oh man, he has the Orbit. And this one, oh, that's the Greco. That's a nice model. Oh, that one over there, that's the Bug Boot. You know, like I noticed these. I never would have noticed them before, but because I changed my mindset and my eyeset, I started noticing it. Just like Benaniah, right? He changed his mindset and he said, you know what, I'm gonna do both things for God. And so when he saw this threat, he jumped into the pit. Now, what does this have to do with you in real estate investing? You know, I'll never forget one of the most profound moments I had with Mark. Mark Evans, my right-hand man here in VDF. We were hanging out, and it wasn't a big thing. We weren't in the middle of one of our masterminds or anything like that. It was just a casual thing. We were going to get some lunch at like a little seafood shanty or something like that. And as we were driving, Mark was just looking, and he was like, "Oh, you see those properties over there?" He's like, "Those are run down." He's like, "But they have good water access, and there's public transportation there." He goes, "I bet you could rehab those. The rent must be pretty good." And all of a sudden, he was doing deals in his head, and he immediately saw it. Why? Because he had a mindset and an eye-set that that's what he was looking for. Just like myself, I'm a marketer. I'm an automated guy. So whenever I go out, I could go to a restaurant. I could go to church. I could go anywhere. And I'm always thinking, how can we be more successful? How could this more marketing get better results, more money, more clients? That's what I'm always thinking about because that's my mindset. And that now comes to you. As a real estate investor inside the virtual deal factory, what is your mindset? Have you stopped and sort of taken an opportunity to do that little switch, that reticular recognition, to where you start looking at it? Now, how do you flip that switch? Well, you flip that switch intentionally. You flip it by first forcing yourself to do it, forcing yourself to go out and see deals and see money-making opportunities. And you do that, and when you do it intentionally long enough, it changes your mindset and it becomes natural. It's something, for those of you that like the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it's something he talks about and is very, very accurate on when he says, one of the differences between the rich dad and the poor dad is the poor dad, whenever he saw something he couldn't do, he'd say, "Oh, I can't afford this." And the rich dad would always say, "Well, how could I afford this?" And it wasn't that he spent money on everything. It's just that he got in the mindset of always saying, how could I afford this? So that he was always looking for a solution. He was always looking for an opportunity. And that's the same thing you have to do. You know what? If there was anything Mark or I could do that would radically push you forward and break down doors, it would be taking your current mindset that you have, okay, taking the current things you recognize. I want to be careful with that word mindset, the things you currently recognize, and getting rid of them. So many real estate investors, all you recognize is problems. You recognize reasons you can't do it. You recognize reasons you're not ready yet. You recognize reasons to feel insecure. Recognize reasons why this isn't going to make money. And that's what you look for. And when you look for that, you will see that in everything. I mean, you know people like this, right? You know some people in your life that are negative. And whatever you introduce, it could be a new job, a new boyfriend, a new girlfriend, a new house, a new pet, they always have something negative. Oh, something bad's going to happen. You know why? Because their reticular recognition is to look for problems, is to look for negative things. But when you make that switch, you will start seeing deals and opportunities everywhere. Anybody I know in this business who is successful will readily and truthfully admit that they have more ways to make money than they will ever get to in their entire life. Why? Because when your mindset changes, especially in the rich world of real estate investing and the internet combined, there are endless opportunities. So that's what I have to share for you today. I'm telling you, make that change even inside the virtual deal factory. You'll start seeing opportunities where you never saw them before once you have that shift in mindset. Once you take the time, you make that intentional switch that then becomes natural, you'll be, well, hopefully you're not looking at strollers and pregnant women unless you're having a baby soon, but you'll be like Ben and I. You'll see lions. You'll see opportunities. You'll be like Mark. You'll see deals. You'll be like me. You'll see marketing opportunities. You'll see it all the time because you've made that switch. But it's got to start with being able to understand and believe. It starts with a belief that it's there, right? If you don't believe there's opportunities to make money, you're not going to see them. You have to believe it. So read success stories. Find other people who are successful inside the virtual deal factory and believe it. You have to believe it. Again, not because believing it will come true. No, this isn't Disney World, okay? If you wish, it'll happen. No. Because when you believe it, you mentally start to look for it. And you start to see things. You start to see opportunities you never saw before. And make it intentional. And that'll become natural. Again, the book is In a Pit with a Lion on a Snowy Day. Strongly recommend it. Awesome, awesome book. Really, probably one of the best books I've ever read. If you are an entrepreneur and you believe in the Bible, it's probably one of the best books I can recommend that I've read on the topic. So check it out. This is Chat With VDF. Go there. I mean, there's opportunities everywhere. The opportunities are endless, okay? Change that mindset, that reticular recognition. Get that going. See that, and opportunities will come your way. So thanks. This is Chat With VDF. I'm going to finish my road test. See you next time.